Video, I'm gonna be describing how to become decisive. You see, a lot of us don't realize how powerful a perspective is. And the only reason why I can share this with you is because I have struggled in being decisive, believe it or not. I was very impulsive, very naive, and I find myself making a lot of mistakes that led me in positions I simply did not want to be in. I have been in very dumb situation, very silly relationships, simply because of how optimistic I was about the situation. And the world will tell you, the society will tell you, is that, oh yeah, no, it's good to be optimistic, it's good to see the best in people, until you get burnt one too many times and you're sick of it. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to be decisive and trust your decisions. Because when I was naive, it cost me a lot. And then I became skeptical. Why did I become skeptical? Because I thought about my negative consequences, I thought about regret, and I thought about results. So I wouldn't even give time a day. And I find a lot of men are stuck in this loop where they've gone from naive and they're now stuck as skeptical. I want to show you how to regain the perspective you need to get decisive. Right, so my name is Dole, I'm a consultant, and I help you lead yourself so you can lead everywhere else. This is including for men and women. All right, let's start off, okay? So this is what I worked with a client earlier on today, and it's literally about understanding the structure behind a decision, okay? So decisions are just decisions, okay? That is the first fact. They're not specifics, they're not good or bad, they just are, okay? And depending on the perspective, they can build experience, they can build wisdom, they can build negative consequences, they can build regret, and they can build results that you don't want, okay? Now, some of you may know Myron Golden, and one of the things he said in his most recent video is that when life is like a double-edged coin, and that when it's not working for you, it's working on you. And you just need to flip the coin enough times for it to turn into tails, right? Now, a good decision, what's a good decision? Well, again, this is what my client said. He said that it's positive impact, it's improvement, it's fulfillment, it's success, it's outcome, okay? What we found, however, okay, is that it ended up balancing itself out. Why? Because he's got 5 things here to worry about, and he's got 5 things to worry here. Now I want you to imagine that there's a scale here, okay? There's a scale, and unless it's on stable ground, your vision or your decision is going to be tilted. This is why, if you are dealing with someone that's very skeptical, guess what? They're going to need double the amount of good decision or good factors to make that decision a fair decision. I'll run you through an example. A lot of men or women will say the dating market is horrible. Yeah, it's because you're skeptical. you have in front of you bad experience, which has now become wisdom. You have negative consequences, which has now traumatized you into making sure you never put yourself in that position again. Then you have regret, and then you have results that you're seeing everywhere else. Of course it's terrible. Then you have the naive person, which is what I used to be. Positive impact. I'm full of love. I came from a family that was able to understand and navigate a healthy dynamic, right? After my dad remarried, that's exactly what happened. You can improve, right? Heartbreak, yeah, it might touch you or hurt you, but you can actually get somewhere from it. Fulfillment, right? When you're with your person, you can connect and speak to them. You can feel like you're understood. You feel like you've been given permission to be who you want to be. Success, outcome. Billionaires are looking for a healthy relationship. Okay? So, in other words, these are all valid aspects. They are all valid aspects. And the moment you try to outweigh one or the other, you enter an unstable ground, which gives you a balanced perspective. Okay? So how do you stabilize yourself? How do you gain into a stable perspective, right? This is the question I was asked. And the simple answer to that is you stay still, you observe, you become the director, okay? I've said this in my videos previously. You are the commander of the village. When you're the villager, your perspective is tilted because you're on one side or the other. You're either experiencing positive emotions, which on an extreme level can make you naive, toxic positivity, or you're experiencing negative emotions, which on an extreme level can make you extremely skeptical. So the person in charge, I want you to imagine this a triangle, is the stable person that's able to value and appreciate both sides. Okay? So how do you now tilt this, right? Because I want you to imagine this is like a binocular, right? Okay, and I said this is you, right? So all right. So depending on how much stuff you're focusing on, well, your vision is going to be tilted. Oh wow, this is great. You haven't seen this. Oh wow, this is horrible. You haven't seen that. And that is because your perspective is not stable. Oh, I see. And then, okay, so what then triggers the decision? Alignment. Okay? Once you understand what is good, what is bad, what aligns? Who are you? Who are you here to represent? Okay? Listen, let me tell you something. Once you understand who you are, who you intend to be, who you've decided to be, you become one of the most clearest person in the room. Most people don't know who they are. Most people need to have in order to be. Again, perfect example my client used today. He said that what happens when I don't get the promotion or qualification or job I want? What happens then? And I said to him, well, if that's what you needed, then you never had it in the first place. You just borrowed it. If what you have, okay, is based on something someone can take from you, then you don't have it. You don't have the relationship, you don't have the woman, you don't have the car, you don't have the money, you have zero, nada, niche. And if that is what your identity is dependent on, then you don't have an identity. You have a mask that the moment was removed, exposes how fragile you are. You see, stability can't be faked. You can't fake stability. You can fake composure, but not stability. The reason why you can't fake stability is because it's based on something that proves that you're stable regardless. And when that isn't the case, then you're not stable. You are borrowing something else. Your identity, again, be to have. You've done it the old, and this is, by the way, this is what most people have taught us to do, right? Do the work, and then you will have. We don't need that bit. Let's scrap it. It's almost like God gave us a manual. He said, this is how you do. Nope, I want to figure it out my own way. So we scrap the be and we focus on the do and the have so that we can be. So now you're asking for permission based on illusions. What are the illusions? The illusions are the fake sense of security you get from a job. The fake sense of security you get from a car. The fake sense of security you get from a woman that likes you. The fake sense of security you get from people that don't supposedly care about you, validating you. Oh, my mental health, people are commenting and hurting me. I had a client, right, and she was like, she had the same issue, right? Massive following, but the being was based on everybody else. I said to her straight, listen, until you change that be, nothing you do will make you have anything. This is how you have people who have things people dream of and still feel miserable. Why? Because your foundation's broken. You haven't looked at what your foundation's actually carrying. And the cracks are there and you're acting like it's okay because mostly everybody else does it. Until you change this narrative, which is supposed to go this way and no other way, you're going to feel miserable. Example I use today is most billionaires, right, don't actually have £1 billion liquid in their bank accounts. And I know this is upsetting. I know, damn it! What do you mean? Right? I thought being a billionaire clearly means that you have £1 billion in your account. I have a friend that's a multi-millionaire, right? And guess what? He doesn't have £1 million in his bank account. Does that stop him from being a millionaire? No. Why? Because his millions are based on valuation, revenues, assets, and you freaking name it. Once you value that all together, yes, that person has $1 billion. Elon Musk doesn't own 100% of Tesla. Tesla is £1 billion or £1 trillion company, correction. Is it? I can't remember the numbers. Anyways, can't remember the top of my head. And anyways, I digress. My point is this, right? When you look at billionaires, they're not billionaires based on what they have. They have access to it. Yes, I mean, to put it together, yeah, sure. But the being doesn't need the having. But here you are, with your 6 figures, hoping that by the time you get to 500k, you're going to be someone completely different. Once you understand how to be without having, your life will change. There's a difference between someone that has received £1 billion and a billionaire. Do you want to know the difference? The being. The billionaire doesn't need the amount to understand how to navigate the billions. Do you know what a person that has access to £1 billion do? What would they do? They'll probably share it across the world and say, hey, listen, I don't even need this. I don't know what I'm going to do this with this. I have no clue. Hey, listen, do you know what? Take £1 million here, take £1 million here, and let's sort out poverty. Right? And then a year or 10 years later, when the money runs out, we're screwed. Right? Because it was a great idea at the start, but you need to know how to keep it. So the having is nowhere near as important as the doing. Okay? Right, so how do you, however, change that? Right? Because that's what the situation is. You use the fate framework that Chase Hughes always talks about. Okay? The fate framework is focus. Alright? So what are you focusing on? Focus. Your emotion follows your focus. I'm on fire today. I'm going to say this again. Your emotion follows the focus. So when you're trying to focus on something, and again, got this from someone else today. When your emotion follows the focus, you imagine there's like a projector, right? So and your emotions are these lenses. Let's say today I am feeling abundant, for instance. Let's be positive today. So I'm feeling abundant, so all I see is abundance. Oh, this is massive. Oh, wow, oh yeah, I didn't even see that. Right? Because my lenses are filtering abundance. Because that's what I decided to focus on. So when you're angry, did you just do? I am going to. Okay, I'm from the UK, right? Or I'm not from the UK, but you get the point. So, what? Am I talking to me like? What? You're talking to me like that, bro? Are you mad? Are you nuts, bro? You think man can just listen? Come. Let's talk. Lenses, angle. So your emotions follows your focus. Authority, right? So this goes back to the experiment that was carried out in 1990s. The Milgram experiment basically talks about carrying out a fictitious experiment where they were led to believe that in order for them to get the right results, they needed to sort of take the test, complete it at whatever risk and cost. So they hired another set of actors to pretend that they were the participants that were receiving the consequences of the electrocution, right? Now, according to what's been said, to keep it brief, the shocks went past death levels. And this was solely based on authority. So once I have focus on authority, you can pretty much switch someone completely. Example, I'll give you another story. So this is a practical story. So I was at a speaking event, and I remember on our way to park, there was these two guys with the high vis, and there was a queue right behind them. Now I'm aware of this, so I'm going to question things, okay? But most people are not. Why? Because once you have focus and authority and you have tribe, they're not really going to question it. Everyone else is doing it. Right? So I go to the front of the queue and ask them, by the way, you guys are charging £25 per parking. Is there an alternative to this? Listen, everyone else is doing it. Just pay. You know what I'm saying? No, but I saw the sign saying that you can pay online. Can I do that? He said, no, just follow what everybody else is doing. So he wasn't directly answering my question, but he wasn't not saying that I shouldn't pay. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my luck. I tried my luck. Everybody else paid £25 and I paid £8. Why? Because I was able to see what to focus on, the fact that I could question authority, and the fact that tribe, or the need to belong, in this case and scenario, wasn't really an important thing to me. And like I said, your emotions follows your focus, right? So there's something that has come to my attention that a lot of people are not aware of. You see, especially in the self-improvement space, we've been told repetition is key. I meant to tell you that after spending 15 years listening to that BS, you may want to try something different. Try this. Understand how your body and your brain actually registers events and emotions and situations and scenarios. Because your brain, your subconscious, speaks a language. And that language is in English, German, Spanish, or whatever. That language is the subconscious. And because it speaks, that language is emotion. Sorry, not subconscious. So the subconscious mind speaks emotion. Expressionalise. So the moment you can control your emotions, you can navigate and guard your emotions, you can control your subconscious. But I don't want to go too deep into it. To keep it quite short, once you understand what emotion is attached to the specific experience or circumstance you experience, once you understand the specific emotion as what's attached to the outcome you're trying to get, for instance, you want to become a healthy husband, right? But then your emotion says that healthy husbands are losers. So you now automatically feel guilt, shame, or it's triggered in discomfort. So now your brain now says, oh no, don't do that, that's discomfort. But you know, no, that's healthy, that's me being a healthy husband. And your brain saying, no. That, my friend, is discomfort. So what am I saying in essence? Once you understand these four, you are able to shift your mindset, to shift your identity, get clarity on that, and move towards that. Now, to round things up, how do you do this quickly, right? Now, by the way, if you're enjoying this, I do this in a one-to-one dedicated session. By the way, this is based on his questions, okay? So there's so much more that comes with it. There's so much more that I could share. However, based on his question, I had to answer, and based on what we're going through, this is what we had to discuss. So, alignment speed, okay? If you're interested, book a call in the bio. But yeah, alignment speed, okay? So how do you make these decisions quickly? So it's about becoming decisive and making it quick. Cool. So how would you summarize this? How would you summarize good? How would you summarize bad from a stable space? So I'm stable. First things first, I know who I am, I know who's showing up. In my case and scenario, I know myself, Mac Dole, is showing up in this case and scenario as the person who's quite clear in regards to what he wants to build and what he wants to do, and the fact that he's a consultant, the fact that he's great at leading himself and therefore helping others do the same. So how does he make a good decision? Well, it's almost like a puzzle, okay? So it's like, okay, so I'm here. In order for me to get there, I need to connect the dots. So what does the dots connected look like? Well, it happens in this space, right? And to say this, I think this is probably one of the most critical things no one really talks about. Decisions make or break your future. I was speaking to a guy that I used to train with, okay? And as I was walking past, I barely recognized him. He was, guys, I go to the gym, right? And I like to say I'm at a decent level physique-wise. This guy was shredded and massive, right? Like, big respect to him. But he lost himself. And this was because of the small decisions he was making on a daily basis. He started smoking weed, he was in the wrong environment, he was in the wrong area. We were both single and doing our thing at the time. He's now doing his thing in a very different way. And not to shame him or to downplay him, but decisions build or break your future. So if you understand how to make decisions, with speed. So for instance, this aligns with the person I want to be. So it's a yes for me. You see, there's a term that says it's either a fuck yes or a fuck no. Excuse my French. And this is how a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you to do things. Like, they go based on feelings and saying I don't know. So to make it quite clear, this is what's actually happening. Because they can sense the positive impact, the ability to improve, fulfillment, success, and outcome is a fuck yes. It's a no-brainer. It aligns with my core values. Of course I'm going to go with it. Because alignment really is, this is going to fulfill my core values. That is alignment for you. Misalignment means, this is going to drain my core values. There's a fuck no. Like, you couldn't convince me to do this. There's no way. And I'll give you another prime example. Someone says to me, hey, would you like to stay in the UK for 2-3 years? How's that sound? I know, it's work for me. I like the beach. Okay, so guys, we're done for today. Really hope that this has added value to you. If you're looking, like I said, to work with me on a one-to-one basis, and listen, you understanding how to do this will change your life, your freaking life. Now, this is my pro bono work done. If you want personalized coaching, that is where you book a call in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.